Right, hi guys, welcome back to another video. I've got another Forza Motorsport commentary video for you today. And today I've got a really good race. This is probably, I think, my best drive in this game so far. Not in terms of, crazy overtakes or dives or anything like that, but just in terms of staying really consistent in difficult conditions and with really worn tyres and just, really not making any mistakes and sticking it out to the end of the race. So yeah, let's without further ado, let's get into it. So we're here at Indianapolis, and we are in the Aston Martin today, which is different. I'm decided to go for a bit of a change from my usual BMW M8. So I thought I'd try something new, and I love the Aston Martin. I absolutely adore this car, especially with the Golf livery. So I thought I'd make a change, and yeah, as you'll see, it seems to work out pretty well. So coming up to the first corner here in the heavy rain, as you can see, so conditions are not ideal, so making the first corner even more difficult than it usually is. And as you can see, a lot of carnage, a lot of cars going off. I get pushed off wide onto the grass. I managed not to spin, but I do obviously lose a lot of time and a lot of position. So yeah, back down to 15th, but not the end of the world. We've got 11 laps to make up for it, so already taking a place over the Ford Falcon there that got pushed wide. And I'm going to take another place over the Porsche there that had a bad run through the S. So up to 13th, we've got a huge gaggle of cars up ahead, some of them having to go wide, as you can see there on the left. Are we going to go in between these two cars? Yes, we are. Look at that beautiful move up between that Audi and the Porsche there. Just did them on the brakes and through to the chicane here, or the S. And as you can see, a little bit of contact between some cars, but nothing too bad. They all stay in a straight line pretty much. So I'll talk about how to tackle these kind of situations when the track is this wet, especially in cars like this where they're so powerful. The key really is staying really smooth on the throttle coming out of corners. If you look down in the bottom right at where it shows my acceleration input, you'll see that as we go through the corner, I am never going anywhere near full throttle until the car is completely straight. You see there that Porsche demonstrating that really well. He turns left and right-hander, so he's just getting on the power a little bit too early when he's still turning, and it spins you around so easily. So here, got a BMW and a Corvette on either side of us. I'm going to make a move on the BMW, a little bit of contacts, but nothing too bad. And then I'm going to look to get the Corvette on the inside of that corner, but I'm on the outside for the next one, and just lose traction a little bit there and lose out to him. But I'm going to stay in front of the BMW just about. And then I've got the inside for the S. He backs out there rather wisely. So yeah, just the main thing you've got to really focus on in these races is staying really smooth on the throttle, because you might lose a bit of time on the exit of a corner, but you'll lose a lot more time by spinning out. So that's really what we're focusing on. But also my aim for this race was to try and do a no-stop strategy, so not change tyres, which requires taking care of the tyres quite a lot as well, because I think usually the main strategy for this kind of race is to pit halfway through and change your tyres. So in order to make them survive the entire race, you've really got to nurse them. But anyway, getting back into the race here, we've got the Porsche and the Corvette up ahead. Now, me and this Porsche have a really good battle for a good few laps. He's a decently quick driver. I think I'm slightly quicker than him. But he defends well, as you'll see. Yeah, and we have some good battles. So coming to the back straight, up to 7th place going to the 3rd lap, which is really good. We've had a great start to this race, managed to avoid all of the the carnage that's gone on so far, as you'd expect in a race that's this wet. Now the Porsche there going wide, I'm going to look around the outside there. He kind of cuts across and just puts his car in front of me, and I'm not going to be able to get a move, but that's absolutely fine. Something else you've got to watch out for in these kind of races is people are going to spin out on the exits of corners, and even if they don't spin out fully, they might just kick the tail out, and if you're right next to them, you can get caught up in that, and that can cause you to spin out really easily. So I found quite often in this race, like here for example, I am just going to back out and not push a move on the inside. He actually goes deep there anyway, so I do get the move on him. But you don't want to force a move too close or try and fight people too closely all the time, because there's a good likelihood they will spin out and just hit your car, even very slightly. But in this condition it's enough to spin you out really easily. So actually quite often it seems a bit backwards, but it's wise often just to back out of a move and wait for something like that situation with the Porsche there where he goes deep. Wait for an easier overtake, because it probably will come in these conditions. People will make mistakes. You don't need to try and force overtakes because the risk is just too high. So we've got the Porsche now. He got a better run out of that last corner than me. He's going to look for a move on the outside, and again, just to prove my point, I'm not going to push a move, not going to try and send it too hard out the inside. Both of us braking in good time, and he makes a good move up the inside. Kind of blocks me there, but that's absolutely fine. We'll carry on. So you can really see there, that's a great example through that corner how gentle I'm being, both on the throttle and the steering, just to try and keep the car in a straight line, stop it from oversteering during the corner, because that's how you lose a lot of time in these conditions, is just getting that tail kicking out slightly. Now again, the Porsche gets that corner a bit wrong. He can't seem to get that one right, going very deep, and I get the move past him again. And I think this time I managed to stick the move and pull away from him slightly, and he's not able to catch back up with me. A little bit of a move there, a look there from him, but nothing comes of it, and then he falls back. He obviously brakes a bit too late in that corner, and from now on I've got some pretty clean air on either side of me. Now if you look in the top left, you'll see that one of the cars is actually pitted, which is very early for a pit stop. You know, 4 laps out of 11 is really early. I don't know if he had problems with his tyres, maybe he was on the wrong tyre. I doubt it, given how, you know, the fact he stayed in the top 5 this far. But anyway, skipping ahead now because nothing's really happened in the meantime. And you can see that we've caught up with the Chevrolet ahead, and through the next set of corners we're really going to gain a lot of time on him, whether his tyres are starting to wear more than mine or whether he's just not as quick of a driver. Whatever it is, we've really caught up with him. A bit of oversteer from me there, but nothing too bad. And he takes a weird line through that corner, and then through this penultimate corner he goes very deep, obviously gets an accelerator a little bit too early, goes out onto the curb, and I'm able to go around him on the outside, which is a really nice move there. Just kick the tail out slightly, but I've got enough traction to be able to take off there, and he has nothing that he can do. He's left behind. So if you saw on the top left, I got another position there, someone else pitted that was ahead of me, so up to 3rd place now. Corvette having a bit of a brave dive down there. He gets in the brakes early enough, he makes it work, and fair play to him. That's a brave dive, but he does get it done, and he's now on the inside for the next corner. I'm going to look around the outside. Is it going to happen? Staying really gentle on the throttle, and yes, I'm going to get a lovely move around the outside there. Really nicely done, if I say so myself. And then onto the kind of back straight here. He's well within slipstream distance, but his car is not as strong as mine, so I'm able to hold him off. A little bit of contact there in the back, as I do probably brake a little bit early, just trying to cover it off on the inside. But nothing comes of it, and we're through the S's, and already he's falling back there, 0.7 of a second, and I do gain some distance here on him pretty quickly. Now if you look in the top left again, 2nd place is just pitted, and I'm looking down at my tyres now and thinking, well, I've got 4 laps left to go, and my tyres are in pretty good condition, so I think I'm going to stick it out and try and make these tyres last the entire race, see how it goes. Whether they massively fall off or not, it's just an interesting strategy. And you see the guy there behind doesn't pit either. Now it's going to be close here, but we are just going to take this 2nd place guy as he's in the pits. You see him there on the right now. So up to second place now. That's kind of it for this race, really. The first place, fair play to him. He's done very well there. He doesn't pit either. He goes for the no-stop strategy as well. He's a good 30 seconds ahead, and by the end of the race, as you see here, he's actually pulled away from me 42 seconds, which is really impressive. So he's a really good driver. He's earned that win. But for us, that's a really strong second place. That's a really good race. I'm happy with that result, and I'm really happy with how I drove there. Managed to make very few mistakes, despite, if you look at the tyres now, they're really on their last legs. And you can see in this corner I actually have to use the handbrake there to get it around that corner, just to get the car turned. So yeah, there we go, round the last corner for the final time, and we will cross the line in second place, which I genuinely think that's probably my best drive, just in terms of, you know, how smooth I was able to keep the throttle and the steering, and just staying out of any trouble there. So up 13 places, but yeah, nothing we could do against the leader there. He's lapping, his best lap was 3 seconds quicker than mine, so we didn't really stand much of a chance. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys, and I hope to see you again soon in the next video.